Hi guys, it's Mel. Welcome to my channel. Today, as you would have seen if you looked at my channel, that I did post something about the sound. I don't know what happened. The sound seems to be fine now, I'm hoping, but the sound was just really awful and really hard to listen to, and I thought that it was better to have a late video than a really awful quality video. So I'm really hoping the sound is okay today. I have done a couple of tests, but you never know what's going to happen from one video to another. I'm still very new at all this and still learning, so thank you for watching. Hopefully it's all good. Alright, so let's get on with the video, shall we? In this video, I predominantly want to talk to you about my Contemporary-A-Thon to be read list. But I also am going to mention a few of the books that I'm currently reading or that I will potentially read for the rest of February. So, first off, Contemporary-A-Thon. This is my first Contemporary-A-Thon, although it is round 6 of Contemporary-A-Thon in general. It is a lot of people's favourite readathon of the year, and I'm really excited to join in this time. If you don't know about Contemporary-A-Thon, then please check out the links to the 3 hosts announcement videos that I've put down below. And they are Natasha from My Reading is Odd, Julie from Pages and Pens, and Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads. They're all really awesome booktubers, and I suggest that you check out their channels because they are great. What I'm going to do is show you the books that I'm planning on reading for Contemporary-A-Thon, and then talk about how they meet the different prompts. Because there are 7 prompts, but I only have 4 books, I very much doubt that I'll get through 7 books in a week. Not even sure I'll get through 4 books in a week. I've made it so that most of the books correspond with a few different challenges, so I should still meet the challenges even if I only end up reading 3 books in that week. So, here are the books. The first one is What Alice Forgot by Liane Moriarty. Liane Moriarty is an author that I have found in the last couple of years and been really loving. And this book is about a woman who wakes up in hospital after having an injury in the gym, and as far as she knows, she's pregnant, she's recently and happily married, and she's about to have the baby. But what's actually happened is that it's 10 years later, she's going through a horrible divorce, and she has 3 children. So effectively she's lost 10 years of her life, and she wants to get it back. So, that's the first book for Contemporary-A-Thon. The next book that I'm planning on reading for Contemporary-A-Thon is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. The Flat Share, from what I understand, is a book about a couple of young people who live in share the same apartment, and they even share the same room and the same bed, because the guy whose apartment it is works during the evening and the night, and is at home and asleep during the day, and so in order to make a little bit of money, he rents out the apartment to a woman who works during the day and is therefore using the apartment and sleeping in the evening. As you would imagine, a little bit of a romance ensues. They start writing post-it notes to each other, just in general about the apartment and what's going on, what's in the fridge, all that sort of stuff, and then it develops into a little bit more of a friendship building through the post-it notes, and then love ensues. So it sounds really sweet, and I'm quite excited about that one. The next book on this TBR list for Contemporary-A-Thon is Not Meeting Mr. Right by Anita Heiss. Don't know a huge amount about this one. From what I do understand, it's about a woman who really doesn't want a partner, really doesn't want to be in a relationship, but somehow manages to fall into one anyway. It sounds quite cute and quite sweet, so I thought I'd give that one a go as well. And lastly is Red, White and Royal Blue. I feel like I don't need to explain what this one is about because, by Casey McQuiston. I feel like I don't really need to explain what this one is about because it's been really hyped up and big on BookTube for the last year or so, but for anyone that isn't aware what it's about, it is a same-sex relationship between the Prince of Wales, or the Prince of England, and the son of the President of the United States, who in this alternate reality happens to be a woman. yeah, so it sounds like it's really fun, it sounds like it's a little bit diverse, and it sounds like it's just really well written from what everyone has said. So I'm excited to read that one. Just going to get my trusty notebook so that I can see how the different books meet the different challenges. So the first book that I held up was What Alice Forgot by Leanne Moriarty, and this book covers the prompt to read a book that has been on your TBR shelf for over a year. At least that's how I'm understanding that prompt. I have heard a couple of people saying something different, but from what I can understand, it's a contemporary book that has been on your personal TBR shelf for over a year, so that's what this one is. It's also going to cover the prompt for a hard-hitting contemporary, and that's because it deals with the ramifications of having had an illness, memory loss, for 10 years. So they're going through a divorce. There'd be a lot of issues to do with her suddenly waking up, as it were, and having lived a life that wasn't necessarily the life she thought she was living. So I think that there'd be a lot of stuff in that, especially for the children as well, if they're going through a divorce, and also it turns out their mum maybe wasn't quite their mum. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know a huge amount about how the book's going to play out, but it sounds like there could be some quite hard-hitting stuff in there. Then we have the flat share, which will cover the prompt to read a book that has green on the front cover. So as you can hopefully see from my little image just here, there is green in a plant and on a door in the front cover, so that covers that challenge. It also covers the challenge to read a book by a new to me author, and it also covers the prompt for dark and hard hitting, from what I understand anyway. So I watched Chelsea Darling Reid's 2019 favourites wrap up, and the flat share was in there, and she did say that there was some stuff to do with the main female characters' backstory and family life that was quite hard hitting, and I think the guy was in prison possibly, so there's some stuff to do with his situation and his experiences in prison. So yeah, there's some hard hitting stuff in that book, sort of underlying the main storyline, but it's in there nonetheless. This book also covers the prompt to read a much beloved book of another person in the bookish community in general. And like I just said, it was on Chelsea Darling Reid's Favourites of 2019 list. I feel like I don't need to tell you about Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reid's. I think she's a well-known and well-loved booktuber with very good reason. She is fantastic. She has a lot of energy, a lot of really inspiring and thought-provoking things to say, a lot of love to share, and it's just really fun to watch her videos. I think she's totally adorable. I don't always share the same taste as Chelsea. In fact, a lot of the books that she reads aren't necessarily books that I would gravitate towards, but she makes them sound really fun and interesting, so I definitely suggest that you check her out. So that's actually part of the challenge also, which is to shout out the booktuber. So there you go. Oh, sorry, the flat share also covers the prompt to read a book that has an illustrated front cover. So it actually covers a lot of the prompts, which is really, really cool. The next book that I mentioned was Not Meeting Mr. Right by Anita Heiss. So this one covers also a new to me author. There is another prompt that it covers, and that is to read a diverse book. So in their prompt to read a diverse contemporary book, they did say in brackets to remember that it is Black History Month. This book is written by an Australian Aboriginal author. So I think that it definitely covers that prompt, although the book itself, from what I can tell, is not necessarily about an Australian Aboriginal character or dealing with Australian Aboriginal issues or anything, but still written by an Australian Aboriginal author, so I think it still counts. And it will also cover my own personal challenge for the year, which is to read one book by an Australian Aboriginal author each month. So, oh, and it also covers an illustrated cover prompt as well. And the last book on my Contemporary-A-Thon TBR is Red, White and Royal Blue. This also covers a few different prompts. First of all, it is a new to me author, and also it is an illustrated cover. The two main characters are queer and very high profile queer teenagers, so it covers the prompt to read a diverse book. It also meets one of my personal goals for the year, which is to read a LGBTQIA+ book every month as well. So that's great. This one is also a book that is beloved by Chelsea. In fact, it was her #1 book for 2019. So that covers the reading a book by a bookish community member that is beloved by a bookish community member. I also want to shout out Paulina from Superpower. She did a video that I thought was really, really great that I will link below, which was 5 reasons to read Red, White and Royal Blue. It is one of her favourite books of the year. She's a really interesting, fun booktuber that I really enjoy watching, and I really enjoy getting her opinions on different books. So I definitely recommend you check that video out and her channel in general. That was my Contemporary-A-Thon TBR. I'm going to finish this video off by talking about a few different books that I am hoping to get through in February, and also the books that I'm currently reading. So I've mentioned this one a few times in a few different videos, and I'm still currently listening to it on audio. I'm enjoying it, and I'll save any other comments about it until I actually do my wrap up, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I feel, again, like I don't need to give a huge amount of backstory about what that is about. I think most people are aware of it by now, but yeah, I'm reading that one. So I'm also currently reading Emma by Jane Austen, and that is my Book Into Film Club's pick for the month of February, because there is a new movie adaptation coming out in February, which we're all really excited about. For those who don't know, Emma is set in the Elizabethan era in England, and it is about a young girl called Emma who's a young gentlewoman, and her best friend / governess has gotten married and moved away, and even though she sees her still very frequently, it's not the same as having this governess friend in the house, and so she's sort of looking about for a way to occupy her time and a new friendship to develop, and she develops a good friendship with another young woman from the town called Harriet Smith. Harriet Smith is a good deal beneath her in class and education, but Emma decides to take her under her wing, and then decides to start sort of involving herself in Harriet's life, and it's just about the various ways that that works or doesn't work. It's about Emma's relationships with the people in her town, and about her sort of growing up and becoming a bit more of a thoughtful person, and yeah, it's really great. I really enjoy it. This is a reread for me. I'm not sure how many times I've read Emma. I'm also currently reading The Power by Naomi Alderman. I've been reading this for about a month now. I started reading it with my 2 friends, Max and Rachel, so we're doing buddy reads, and I'm about 2/3 of the way through. It is fantastic. I'm really, really enjoying it. Brief synopsis on that is that suddenly young women and teenagers discover that they have electrical impulses running through their body and the power to wield that electrical impulse, and it's basically about what happens when that suddenly occurs, and the various different things that happen throughout the world, and the various different ways women use the power, and that sort of thing. So it's amazing, it's totally unexpected, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm about to start reading today The Wicked King by Holly Black. I'm buddy reading that with Hayley from Hayley Reads. I will link her channel below. She's a really lovely booktuber that I've got to know over the last few months, and I'm really enjoying buddy reading with her. We really enjoy chatting with each other about the books, and we both really enjoyed The Cruel Prince, so we're both looking forward to The Wicked King. And the last 2 books that I want to show you are 2 non-fiction books that I picked up from the library the other day. I have mentioned in previous videos that I haven't usually been much of a non-fiction reader, but in the last couple of months I've actually found myself really enjoying some non-fiction books that I have picked up. So the first one is Darling Judy, introduced and edited by John Miller, a celebration of Judi Dench. Judi Dench is one of my favourite actresses. She is an amazing English actress, and she's been in some wonderful movies like The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel with Dev Patel and Maggie Smith and Bill Nighy and lots of really famous English actors. She was M in the more recent James Bond movies, and she's just amazing. So I definitely think that people should check out some of her movies. If you haven't ever watched a Judi Dench movie, you are definitely missing out. And anyway, this is a series of different little sort of letters and stories that a variety of different people that know Judi Dench have written and been put into a book that was done for her birthday, which I think is just really sweet. And lastly, The Kindness of Strangers, Travel Stories That Make Your Heart Grow, edited by Farrell O'Nolan. I have no idea, sorry, how to say that name. And it features different people's travel experiences and stories of how they've come across different people and the experiences they've had through traveling and stuff like that. So it just sounds like it'll be another really nice little read. Alright guys, so that's my video. If you have read any of the books that I have put up here for February, please comment below and let me know what you thought of them. If you're planning on reading any of the books that I have shown you, then please comment also. If you're going Contemporary-A-Thon, I'd love to know what you're reading for that. Anyway, I really hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.